We all have those games from our childhood that nobody ever talks about anymore. Maybe it's because these games weren't that popular and didn't sell too many copies prior to the release, or maybe they have just been lost in the collection of other memorable games that left a bigger imprint in our minds. Either way, these video games from our past linger in our minds and make us question why they aren't making any headlines today. I can think of dozens of these games, but the most baffling case for me has to be the MySims series. If you don't know what this franchise is already, MySims is a spin-off series born from the widely popular Sims franchise. I bet a lot of you watching this haven't even heard of the game before. And those of you who have probably haven't thought about it in a long time. Here's the thing. Although this series hasn't had a new release since 2010, MySims was extremely successful when it first came out, selling over 53 million copies worldwide. So what made this series fall into the depths of our memories? Why haven't we seen a new game in over a decade? And will MySims ever be seen on store shelves again? We are going to talk about all that today, but first, let me tell you why these games were so special to me growing up. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the waves of nostalgia while we explore the world of MySims. So what is MySims all about? Picture the more popular Sims games, but instead of playing God for your cute little characters, you can actually control them. Similarly, the original MySims is all about building. At the start of the game, your Sim is moving to a small town to live a brand new life. Thing is, this place is a shell of what it used to be. There are a bunch of empty lots, and only a few residents actually still living here. So the mayor decides for some reason that it's up to you to bring this town back to its former glory. You can build your own home in the classic Sims fashion, but I don't think that's the actual appeal of this game for most people. The main attraction is the colorful cast of Sims themselves. Part of the job is getting people to move into your town, by convincing tourists to stick around a bit longer. All of these characters, while they speak the same gibberish Sims language, are incredibly memorable. I think even today I could name a bunch of them off the top of my head. DJ Candy, Chef Gino, Buddy the Bellhop, Goth Boy, and so many more that left a mark on my mind. That's just how great these characters are. They are so unique and stand out from the crowd even though there are over 70 of them in the original game. So to bring this town back to life, you gotta build these guys their own homes. And this is where things get really cool. For most Sims, you build a typical house for them to reside, but for some Sims, it goes a bit deeper. Here are some examples. For Vic, you have to build an arcade because he's a huge video game nerd. Trevor wants a theater because he's a stage actor, and Dr. F wants a laboratory for his scientific experiments. They can also hire you to make furniture for them in your workshop. Elmira wants bookshelves for her library, and Roxy wants an ice cream maker for her shop. Before you know it, you've got the whole town booming once again. There are so many other fun activities to partake in too. Collecting materials in the form of essence, metal detecting, and expanding your town into areas that you have yet to explore. But this is only the first game, and we have yet to even mention the best the series has to offer. Just a year later, we got MySims Kingdom, which is a totally different experience. First off, say goodbye to building your town because now the world is your oyster. Rather than being restricted to one location like the first game, Kingdom lets you sail the seas with your pals and discover new exciting islands. Each island has its own unique theme, and I remember being on the edge of my seat wanting to find out where the journey will take us next. Maybe it will be a space station where you have to build your own rocket ship. Or maybe it's a cowboy island, and it's your mission to find out a mystery behind a town bandit. As you can see, the series is becoming more story-driven, so there's actually more initiative to get busy. You might be noticing that some of the Sims in this game are also from the original, and here is where we see the best part about MySims. In every game following the first, all of the characters that you have grown to love are back, and also a bit different than you remember. Although they still have their original quirks, they have been transported to an alternate reality where things are a little off. Now instead of a bellhop, Buddy is your right-hand man, and he will be with you for the entire game. He was easily the most developed character from the original, so having him as a partner in your adventure is just perfect. Also, there are tons of other Sims that have new roles too. Instead of owning an ice cream shop, Roxy is now a cow farmer. No longer is Rosalind the mayor, but this time she's a school principal. DJ Candy is still a DJ, but I don't think that's ever gonna change. This is a common theme in MySims games, and one of the biggest reasons why characters are so easy to remember. You will see this same thing continue into the next game, my personal favorite, MySims Agents. Again, the plot is brought even further to the forefront. The The story is told through the eyes of our friend Buddy, who at this point is pretty much the mascot of the series. There are so many cool new additions that came out of MySims Agents. This time around, you play as a secret agent, going undercover and solving mysteries. You also get your very own agent headquarters, and it's so well done. You can fill each floor with decorations you find along the way, and also assign these positions to new agents that you hire through your adventures. Speaking of adventures, get ready to hop into your private jet to go solve some mysteries. These agent missions are so detailed, and the locations they take you are all so cool. Maybe you're going to a ski lodge to solve a mystery behind the Yeti at the peak of the mountain. Or maybe you'll find yourself deep in Aztec ruins searching for a lost treasure to save the world. No matter where your journey takes you, it's always extremely entertaining. I can't stress enough how baffled I am by the fact that this series was cancelled because it really has something special to it. Especially because the ending of MySims Agents is literally left off on a cliffhanger, meaning they were definitely intending to have a sequel. Sadly, this continuation of the story has never and almost definitely will never be made. Shortly after the release of Agents, MySims came back with Sky Heroes, which was kind of a Top Gun style game with dogfighting that had very little similarities with the past titles. This was the game that shot them in the foot. MySims Agents was so well received and extremely successful, so the most reasonable move would be to make a sequel directly after. But sadly, due to the major failure of MySims Sky Heroes, all future projects that were planned have been completely cancelled. I can only imagine where this series would be today if they just made Agents 2 as intended. The potential for the franchise to expand was crazy, and they even had some titles already in development that had been shelved because of this misstep. I wish I could end this video on a happier note, but the truth is, I am almost certain that we will never see a new MySims game ever again. The more and more that MySims is buried in the past, the harder it will be for it to dig itself back out. Furthermore, the entire team that worked on these games have since left Electronic Arts to pursue other projects. Without the original minds that built the world and these characters, who's to say that it would have the same heart and soul that we all loved about it in the first place? So my stance on MySims in 2021, let's appreciate it for what it was. There's a rare group of us who still think about this game from time to time, so let's keep the memory alive. If you wanted to go back and experience the nostalgia once again, this should be your sign to go and do so. Seriously, if you are one of the few people that still have access to MySims, go for it. The only way to keep the dream of seeing this game alive once again is just to share the love. So if you have some friends who have these same memories, send this video to them. Or maybe see if they would want to go back and experience the exciting adventure with you. Although it may be over, let's all be glad that MySims happened. Thanks for watching. I've wanted to talk about MySims on my channel for a long time, but never really thought I had the right thing to say about it. So I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more videos like this if you want to. I upload a few times a week, so you'll probably see me around. Anyways, keep gaming to the fullest, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. See ya!